Mm,
education was important to your family. You had
yeah.
uncles who were teachers. Your mother was bound and determined that you were going to be an A student. Uh,
Hmm.
Comment on schooling on the island, especially in terms of your family.
It was very important that um, that I was educated properly in can I put a pause here for a sec? Give me a
So yeah, Jojo, we had a little interruption there. We're talking about the importance of education in your family.
okay. Yeah, education was important to everyone at that point. Um, it was something seen as part of our responsibility as young people to be educated, to go to school and learn. And the signs were all around that education did bring in some you know sense of wealth, and some of the modern aspect of
Well, that was what I wanted
Western
to
life.
ask you. On some level, as a parent, if you push your child to succeed in school, aren't you setting your child up to leave the island and not come back?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, there were enough people on the island that it was not really an issue at that point. And the ones that went away were not, you know, the one that went away. It's almost like it's part of growing up at that time that, yeah, the understanding that yes, some kids will go on to be, successful and some kids would not be. But there were also some people who were not akin to learning. So taro farming is also everybody's prerogative, every young people man's prerogative. It's not like we
If we
were
had
not
asked your
neglecting our.
if we'd asked your mother or father what they wanted you to be when you grew up, what do you think they would have said?
I don't know if they would say in particular what they wanted me to be, but I think they would want to just in general that I'd be successful
And
in
success is measured by what?
being educated. Yeah, that I would be able to find a job and then be able to provide money uh, for the family. You know, and there were things like you could not get. You know, growing, I was beginning to be a parent that there were things that you would not be able to get without having access to money. You know.
Um, let's see, I lost my train of thought here. Just a
Well,
second.
remember the part of the story where my grandfather would sell his catch. We would get what we want and then salt, make salt fish, and then we would sell it like whoever wants to buy it. Then beside what we were giving away. But the reason for that is because we would go to the store, the small store, and get rice. And at that time, rice was not a major part of our diet. There were other things, but it was nice to have rice. Some rice, also some bread. And my grandfather certainly likes to have his cigarette and coffee. And you couldn't buy that with the taro farm. Yeah, so there were those things that were coming in, and you couldn't access them with the type of traditional wealth or currency that you had. So,
I'm going to ask this just because I thought about it quite a bit when you were telling me stories. How can you have something called school
Hmm.
when there aren't any books?
Well, there were some books.
What was there?
The books that they would send out from the central office would be like reading books, social studies books. Um I think there were some science books, but the reading books and the oral English books were created through I think the South Pacific Commission. It was that oral English where they teach you how to speak English. You know, social studies books were, I think some of them were created at the central office because you have this like traditional chief, blah blah blah, the name of the Chuuk Islands, and things like that. But there were also some social studies books that were, I knew that they were not from Chuuk, they were from the mainland USA because they have trains and they have ships and skyscrapers and and we were like looking at them like, oh wow. And so it's like this is something you don't see every day. Certainly not, the skyscrapers and the buses and